It's down on the tines. You either pull it. We have a 4-foot towable, and we also have a 2-foot walk behind that is self-propelled. And it takes plugs out of the soil, so it loosens up the soil over time because of rain and buildup of your turf and walking and driving and things like that. It packs the soil down so that it doesn't grow grass as well. It doesn't have enough room for the roots to really spread out and get into the soil and get the nutrients that they need. And the best way to combat that is through aeration. And it takes those plugs out, it lets the dirt go back onto the ground so that it still doesn't take anything away from the soil, but it allows the seeds to go down once you're sowing to get in there and grow thicker, and also all of your lime and your fertilizer to go down further in the soil and not just be a top layer.
One of the things I see we have what our kids call good grass. We have zoysia grass in our yard, and also some outline fescue, thick fescue. Is when you year after year after you mow, and most of us, we mow in the same pattern, and so you have compaction in your grass, in your soil, and what's required to keep it in good shape, to keep it weed free, is aeration. And what I'm understanding from experts is aeration is as important as proper fertilizing lime.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Also, one of the things that helps with that is change up your mowing pattern.
That's right.
That is always helpful. Not only do you, over time, get the stripes and the good-looking lawn that you're looking for, but it does keep that compaction to a minimum. Whenever it comes to aeration, the best time of year to do it is either in the spring or the fall, beginning of season or end of season. If you go into it in the summer and you do all that, it's getting kind of hot. It's might not be the best thing for the ground and your grass. You don't want the sun to kill what's your grass, and that's also a big thing in not cutting it too short.
Aeration is big right now. Mowing season's here. It's actually popped out a little bit early this year, and we're already seeing activity in mower repair in the shop. The shop's extremely busy, and a lot of activity. We're seeing a lot of professional guys kicking off their seasons a little bit early this year, and just want to remind everybody about our quality shop, not just for Hustler mowers and big dog mowers, but we're taking in other brand mowers to repair. Troy-Bilt, Kubota, we've seen them run through the shop. So come by and see Keith.
Absolutely. Get your mowers ready for spring. All the service. Make sure your blades are sharp and ready to go. So come on down to Rent Right at 721 Buffalo Road. We can help you out.
Lawrenceburg.
Right? That is. It's Lawrenceburg.
That's right.
So one of the big things we're going to be talking about today is battery-powered string trimmers.
Okay.
Or weed eaters, as I grew up calling them.
That's right.
So, basically what we're going to be looking at is most people are used to a gas-powered string trimmer, and people might be a little bit hesitant when it comes to battery-powered weed eaters.
That's right.
Basically. And so what we want to go through is just kind of walk through it. What are some of the best things about the batteries, and what they can do for you to make your life more convenient as far as trimming around the edges of your lawn. So one of the best things, of course, is no gasoline or oil required. You don't have to make sure you have the right gas to oil mixture. There's no need for a spark plug replacements, air filter changes, carburetor adjustments. They're very, very low maintenance. One of the most finicky things you can get is on those 2-cycle engines, a carburetor gets clogged up, and you will have one of the hardest times in your life trying to get that thing back going.
Exactly.
Especially sitting over a long winter, not starting it up, getting it ready. So one of the things, you don't have to deal with that anymore. As soon as you pull the trigger, it's ready to go, and it doesn't matter how long it's been sitting.
We use battery powered equipment, DeWalt equipment at our home, and that's one thing that you hit on just now is convenience. And we use a blower. I use one in the barn area, and I also use one around the garage area every day. And it's a keep the battery charged. You pick it up, pull the trigger, and you're going. And convenience and ease has really changed the landscape of power tools. So you need to come down and check them out, what we've got to offer, and I think you'll be surprised.
Absolutely. If you're a homeowner that you've got an acre or two that you need to trim around, they will do everything you need on one battery. Take care of it perfectly. Then as soon as you get done, you put that battery back on charge. Next week, when you want to go to it, your battery's charged and you're ready to go. And even for commercial cutters, they're coming around with options for you guys that's battery powered. You don't have to carry around the gas and the oil and all those different things. And that's one thing we're really excited about with Cress Outdoor Power. They came out with a commercial line made completely for commercial cutters. And so most of the time when you think about battery, you think about residential, which is one of their best places, but battery powered has come a long way. The technology, lithium ion, all the different things that they do to not only make the battery run longer, but also charge quicker, which is a very, very important feature.
A lot of the companies, DeWalt and Crest, that we promote, and there's other good brands on the market also. We recommend these two, and but it's come a long ways, and it's going to go a long ways for as technology and innovation. And so there's no reason you can't take advantage of that now. A lot of the chainsaws, the power and the longevity of a battery, it's equal to the same size in a gas-powered saw.
Absolutely.
It's cutting-edge things that we're not used to battery yet on certain items, but little by little we're seeing more use. I remember the days when we used to sell a lot of power extension cords, and I'd sell a bunch, order a bunch, keep them on hand, and the days finally came along that our sales began to dwindle. So I got to asking and thinking about it, how come we're not selling as many power cords? Then you would look in the back of carpenters' trucks and workers' trucks, and they were full of cordless drills and saws and different things. So we've come a long ways with cordless tools, and we're a stop for that. We'll be able to help you with DeWalt and also Crest. I think we have a good warranty on both also.
Yes. Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, the DeWalt is a 30-day warranty as soon as you buy it. Anything that is a defect, and you'll be able to see from that. Any kind of manufacturer defect, you just bring it back in the store, we give you a new one, and you walk out happy as can be.
What do you have with you today? What is this?
So,
what is this little guy?
This is probably one of my favorite of the DeWalt tools that we've gotten in, just because it's fun to play with.
Oh.
So this is a pruner from trimming bushes, trimming trees. It's very handy, especially if you're out on the mower and you don't want to get smacked in the face with a low-hanging tree branch, which we've all dealt with if we've cut any grass. You keep this with you. You stop. You pull the trigger. And then you don't have to worry about that anymore. It's no muss, no fuss, and it just looks really cool.
So
like
the batteries, can you use those on different tools?
Absolutely. That is one thing I really like about DeWalt, and that's one of the reasons we started taking them on, is that the batteries that I have in my house are DeWalt batteries for my drills.
What all tools will that battery fit?
That battery will fit any drill, any of your hand tools that you have for that. Once you get to like the bigger stuff, anything that takes a 60 volt, it won't go into that. But the cool thing about the 60 volt flex is that you can use your 60 volts on anything to get a longer battery life. Okay. So if you've got any of your 60 volts, those will go from your chainsaw to your weed eaters, and it'll make it have a longer battery life.
I have good luck with DeWalt tools, and we've had tools for several years now that we've used at Wright and also at home on our little farm. So very good equipment. Crest also, give us a little bit of background on where they're originated.
So they originated out of Germany.
Okay.
Started making started in car electronics and moved into batteries, AC and DC current. And then they made a push for these kind of outdoor power tools, from string trimmers to chainsaws and all those things. But they wanted to perfect their battery before they perfected their tool. That's one of the big things you see in a lot of these other guys is they have a tool, and then battery powered becomes more popular. So now they're trying to get into the battery gig without having the experience going back. And that's one thing that's really cool about Crest is they started with their battery and then went to the tool, because the tool is more simple than the technology that it takes to make a battery. A string trimmer, you've got a shaft and a head that spins and has a little bump feed. It's not that complicated. Lithium ion batteries, on the other hand, is a completely different animal. Absolutely it is. And we keep talking about how it's low maintenance. You don't have all the different things that you're working on, but that doesn't mean it's no maintenance. It's low maintenance.
Okay.
So you always want to charge the battery according to the manufacturer's directions. Store the string trimmer in a cool and dry place to protect it from extreme temperatures and all those. You don't want to leave it sitting out in the rain, but you don't want to do that with any piece of equipment. Also, you want to inspect the batteries, make sure there's no damage, there's no swelling or cracks, and you want to clean the tool of grass, debris. So a lot of the string trimmers, the motor, the brushless motor is above the head. So the battery is in the back to try and give them counterbalance weight, but the actual motor that spins it is on the head, and it's got little fins in there,
Cooling fins.
cooling fins,
Okay.
and little places for it to get air to keep the electric motor running. And so after use, you want to take and you can either clean it with a little brush or some air pressure, compressed air, to clean out all that debris to make sure that motor is going to last the longest amount of time without it getting heated up. That's one thing we talk about a lot from Kawasaki engines and all of our Hustler products, is that heat is a big thing. And whenever you get grass around any of your pulleys or your spindles and you don't keep it cleaned out regularly, you'll wear it out, because that grass acts as an insulation and it keeps that heat in when you want it to be moved away and dispersed.
Right. Makes sense. So storage, what do you recommend on storage?
Keep it in your shed. Just keep it out of the weather. Not only will that keep it out of the rain, it'll keep it out of the moderately cold and the heat. To keep it running the best that it can, you want to always check your handles and your controls and any guards. You want to wear safety glasses. That was always a big one for me as a kid. You don't want to wear safety glasses, but you will.
That's right.
You do it for about 15 minutes and you'll put them on.
One of the things I've noticed too with the tools that we display and sell is prices. They're moderate.
Yeah.
They're when cordless tools first came out several years ago, they were extremely expensive, and prices seem to have leveled off because of the popularity in tools, and also the quality. For what I'm seeing with DeWalt and Crest and other brands on the market, the quality of tools is stable.
Yes.
There's just not a lot of junk on the market anymore if you go ahead and buy good brand tools like a DeWalt or a Crest.
Absolutely. If that's what you're worried about, you don't want it to be cheap, then don't buy the cheapest thing out there.
Right.
If you want just to get by, then you can do that. But quality things they're gonna be about the same price as a quality gas powered weed eater or string trimmer.
Right.
It's not gonna have that big a difference. The shaft is all carbon aluminum, if I can get my words out today. So it's really a good product built to stand the test, because if they want their name to continue, they're going to make something that's worth having.
Yeah, they're worth having. Convenience, I can't just talk about that enough, but you get home, you're tired, you want to blow out the garage real quick and get all the leaves and the dog hair out of the garage or whatever, and you're done in 2 minutes instead of having to pull on that gas-powered blower for 15 minutes and having to gas it up. It's super convenient. Same thing with these little trimmers you got with you here.
You're absolutely correct. Instant ignition. The electric motor provides instant torque as soon as you pull the trigger, it's going to be there, and there's no doubt that grass trimmers have power. Like, they're very, very powerful machines, especially depending on what you get. And depending on your situation, that might be a good option for you. But battery power has come such a long way in such a time that battery life and durability have really stepped up their game, so that it doesn't matter if you're just cutting fence lines on your farm or you're doing it professionally. They will stand up to the test and cut like you want them to.
I've noticed a lot more cordless or battery-powered tools in the back of our workers or customers that come in. You see different variety of hedge trimmers, weed eaters, just different things, drills. They're in the back of trucks or in the cabs. So they're here to stay, getting better every year, the battery, and then the innovation of batteries. And we're glad to be a part of it with Cress. Let's talk about just the robot mowers just for a moment.
Yeah.
If you want to mention that. It's cutting edge stuff, and we went ahead and jumped in the game. And, it's something that's it's going to be here. And, we're in that lazy society today. So, we've got the answer to how to mow your yard. And we're gonna control it from your 5G phone.
That's it. If you want convenience, there's nothing better than a robot mower. So basically what we do is we bring it out, map your area, and it will go to cutting. You get an app on your phone. We'll teach you how to use it, what to do. You have a charging station, and if it starts to rain, it goes back to the house. If there's tree branches and things in your yard, it'll go around them. It's got sensors all the way around it, and it cuts, and it makes it look like your grass is always just freshly cut, because it is. You don't send it out once a week. It cuts every single day.
That's right. Yeah. One of the things that I've heard from Cress, we're not there yet, but they're talking in the next few years, a 60-inch mower. How wide are we now on the little robot mowers? Is it in the 20s?
So it starts in like a 24, and I think you can get a little bit bigger than that.
Right.
But right now, that's kind of where they're at.
Yeah. The angle for the next few years, what I'm hearing, is 60-inch. So you're going to see ball fields, football, baseball fields, soccer fields, being mowed with these after the game. 10, 11 o'clock at night. You'll have these robot mowers being set and mowing these fields. And what it's going to save on labor, instead of having to pay a worker or two to maintain that athletic field, it's going to be robot manicured.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only does that free up manpower to do other things, because it's not going to replace that person that's working.
Right.
There's at this point we're almost at a worker shortage.
Right.
Trying to find people that can fit into those roles and do those things. It's not meant to try and take anything away from what you guys are doing, but to free you up so that you can actually do what you need to do instead of cutting grass.
That's right.
Use some brain power.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So as spring has come in, we see the grass that it's growing, and it's time to get your mower serviced and ready to cut. At Rent Right, we not only service Hustler mowers, but any mowers that you bring in. And if you want to service it yourself, we have tune-up kits, we have the oil, and right now we are selling oil by the case.
By the case.
By the case.
Y'all ordered a big order today, I believe.
Yep.
And how many to a case on the...
There's 12 quarts to a case.
Okay.
12 quarts to a case. And if you buy a case, you're going to save about $30.
Wow, that's a big savings. These is for these guys and girls that want to service themselves, want to have their own shop, get a little discount on the oil if you buy it in bulk. And we also carry filters and plugs and
Yes.
and for different brands.
And if you get the tune-up kit, you've just got your one mower, you want to tune it up, it comes with the oil filter, air filter, fuel filter, and your spark plugs, everything you need to get that mower running right. Whenever you buy a case of oil, it's great if you've got more than one mower. A lot of guys out there do it professionally. They've got a bunch of mowers. They want to keep them going. Not only do we have that on the 20W50, which is what is recommended in our Kawasaki engines, but also the 1550, which is usually used for your hydros. You can use either one, but it's recommended for the 1550 on your hydraulics whenever you do a hydro change. So we've got all of those in bulk for you to buy at a good sale price.
That's right. And all the engines nowadays, since 2011, there's been a big change in heat range.
Yes.
And so what we've had to address there is because of the ethanol that was been put in our fuel, small engines and car engines, they have to burn hotter to get rid of that corn oil. So we're able to provide a synthetic oil, a man-made synthetic oil, high quality.
Yes.
It's made by a major supplier here in the United States under the brand of Kawasaki.
Yep.
I believe that's what we keep. So we'll be able to help you with that, and with the different viscosities of oil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we've got that Kawasaki has come out with to make servicing your engine oil easier is this oil drain plug. So this, in any Kawasaki engine, will replace your oil plug that comes whichever brand you buy.
Turn that sideways so everybody can see that. There
That
you go.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all brass fittings. This goes right into your plug. You take the plug out when you drain your oil.
Out of your block.
Right. Screw this in. And then you don't need any tools to change your oil after that. This is just a hand turn. Your oil
It's
pours
super
out.
simple. Yeah.
And you're good to go without getting any oil on your frame. Keeps it cleaner. Keeps it from building up more grass and debris, because anytime there's oil there, that grass and dirt is going to stick to it.
Now, the way I understand this, Tyler, we can use this on other brand mowers other than Hustler.
As long as it's got a Kawasaki engine, this will work.
Kawasaki engine, any variety or brand, we can add this on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So anything, any Kawasaki engine this fits with and works great.
That's a great add-on.
Oh, it totally is. Also, in the next week or so, maybe they'll ship out into this week, beginning of next, we are looking to get our Troy-built mowers in. So they are the tractor type lawn mowers. We've got a few different models to come in, from more of your base model to with a stamped deck, and then also to move it on up to your fabricated steel decks on your lawn tractors. So if you've never tried a zero turn, you just really like your lawn tractor and you want to stick with it, now you can come on down to Rent Right, where we carry Troy-built mowers.
That's great.
We're also going to have push mowers and tillers. So getting into your gardening, not only will we have them to sell, but we've also got them to rent. So if you don't want to put in for a big purchase and have one, don't have to store it. You can just rent one from us when you need
tillers.
it. On the tillers, yes.
Great. Troy-Built's, that brand name has been around for a long time.
Yes.
And, that's one of the reasons we hopped on that opportunity, and we feel like it'll fit our offering very well. Troy-Built is a well-known name. So is Hustler.
Yes.
And I was amazed the other day when you turned in a sales ticket on a zero-turn Hustler, and it had a 34-inch deck.
Yes.
Talk to me about a 34-inch deck.
So that went on a Dash XD, the smallest one that they make at this point now.
Wow. A 34.
34.
Okay.
34-inch deck. It's still the welded steel tubed frame.
Okay.
So you're not lacking in quality, even though it's got a smaller frame and a smaller cutting deck. It's used in a lot of these residentials. I took it to the south end of town, and as soon as I unloaded it off the trailer, he turned it on and started cutting.
That's right.
He just got done weed eating, and as soon as I got there, he was ready to go, and it went straight to work.
That's right.
Just like a Hustler.
So, just like a Hustler. That's the way it's supposed to be. So, a 34.
34.
That's a small yard. It's for small situations.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
So anything from a half acre even smaller, up to about an acre. It will do very well. It could do more than that, but you don't want to overwork those kind of things. It's made for a specific purpose, and so that's the best thing to keep it in. It's got good hydraulics, sealed hydraulics, and it still has that Kawasaki engine.
Right. Tell me, you got 34s. What are deck sizes?
So
in those residential mowers?
You've got, for the dashes, you've got the 34 and the 42.
Okay.
Once you move up from there to the Raptor X, you have a 42 and a 54. From there, you can go to the XD and the XDX. You've got a 48, 54, and a 60. And what we carry now with the Fast Tracks, you've got the 54, 60, and then, the X1, we've got them in the 60s, and then also now with our Super Z Hyperdrive, 72.
72. That's for the big jobs, big
Yes.
commercial jobs, top end mower
Yes.
that professional guys and girls would buy.
But one thing I just want to interject here is our Power Plus Performance Sales event.
Oh my goodness! Tell me
Started
about that.
yesterday. It is going from March 11th to April 13th.
Okay.
So it's something we really want to look out for, that if you get a Raptor, no matter which Raptor you get $350 worth of DeWalt tools thrown in.
How does that work?
So
I mean, how do I decide what I want?
come on in and look at them.
Okay.
If you get any of the Raptors, we'll give you a weed eater to keep it up. You can get the chainsaw, anything that's going to fit within that $350. And if you want more than that, you might pay $150, and you've got $500 worth of tools for $150.
So I get a shopping spree,
Basically.
and I buy a Raptor mower, Hustler Raptor mower, and
Yep.
I get a DeWalt shopping spree up to $350.
That's true. Now, if you decide to get a Fast Track, you get $600 worth.
$600.
Yes.
So I could buy several tools.
You could, yes, a variety of tools. Not only could you have our nifty little pruner, but you could get a string trimmer. And one of the things I like is we've got a string trimmer with a 60-volt battery, 60-volt flex system. But it has different attachment heads that you can purchase.
Okay.
So not only can you have a string trimmer, but it breaks in the middle, and you can add a hedge trimmer,
Right.
a pole saw. You can make it a little short pole saw, and all those different kind of things. So it's a tool that you can use in multiple different ways, and you can get that all with the purchase of a Raptor or a Fast Track. So if you're looking to get a mower anytime soon because you need one, this is a good time to come in and get you some extra goodies.
So it's a 30-day sale going on right here,
Pretty much.
March to April.
March to April, and then again from May 20th to June 22nd.
Sounds like a deal.
Yes.
So $600 shopping spree on a Fast Track when it's a purchase of a Fast Track Hustler mower.
Yes.
That's fantastic. $350 if you buy a Raptor in the Hustler line. $350. We still have 0% financing.
That we do.
42 months with approved credit.
That's it.
In-house, forms filled out in-house online.
Yeah, we'll take you into the office and we'll get all your information, and you can push it out to 48 months.
48
You
months.
can do 42 months, 36, 24, and 12, depending on whatever you want to do, all for 0%. You don't have to bring anything to put down. Just come on in with your approved credit. And even you can go to Sheffield Financial and fill out one of those forms yourself and bring us that application number, and we can work with you from there as well, just to make it as convenient for you as possible.
Right. Payments are low on the mower you were talking about. Your payments may be $69, $79 on a residential mower.
So if you get, for the 48 months, you get the Dash XD with a 34-inch, you're looking at about $89 a month.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Very affordable. Warranty, Hustler warranty, Kawasaki warranty.
Yes.
What is the Kawasaki
So
warranty?
Kawasaki, no matter which engine you get, has a 3-year no-hour limit.
Great.
With the Raptors, you get a 3-year, 300-hour parts and labor. All the batteries come with a 1-year warranty. And then once you get to the Fast Track, you have a 4-year, 750-hour warranty. Fast Track SDX is a 4-year, 1,000-hour warranty. And once you get to the X1 and up, you have a 5-year, 1,200-hour warranty.
Okay, you mentioned other day you sold a couple of mowers, and sometimes people don't have trailers, and we offer delivery. I've noticed
Yes.
you've been delivering mowers this week. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. With your purchase of a mower, I'll take it wherever you live. I'll deliver it to you, and that's no extra charge whenever I'm initially delivering your mower to get it to you. If you don't have a trailer, if you need us to come pick it up and bring it in for service, we can do that as well. If you're within 8 miles of our store, it's $40. If it's above that, it's $4.50 a mile.
Okay.
And I think tomorrow we've got a pickup over in Pulaski.
Okay.
Bring in a mower for service.
We'll get that done for you.
Yeah.
So we don't need to fret over the transportation of new mowers or mowers to be repaired. We'll cover that for you.
Absolutely.
Right. Another question I had, and observation this week. You have had the privilege of selling some used pre-owned mowers.
Yeah.
And and we need some trade-ins.
Yes.
We see Hustler mowers that are 15 and 20 years old. Had some great conversations last week and this week on long-standing, I call them lifetime customers that bought mowers 20 years ago. And but we do need some trade-ins. We need some secondary mowers to sell. Can you talk to us about what you've sold and the availability of used mowers?
Yeah, so right now we have a couple. One of them, we've got a new deck to put under it to get that ready for sale. But yes, we do need trade-in mowers so that we can have, we always go through them. We check the engine, we change the oil, we check any brackets, any pulleys. We go over and do a full check. So if you come and see a traded-in mower, a used mower that you're looking for, know that we have gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. To see everything we can with it to make sure that it's the quality that you want and you can get it at a cheaper price. If you need something now or you don't have that big a yard, I sold a Raptor SD over by the Golf and Country Club place out there, delivered to him today. And it's a great little mower.
Yep.
Gone through it and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Drives good.
Sometimes people move and they move to a bigger place, need a bigger mower, more deck, maybe they need more of a commercial type mower, and they need to trade in residentials.
Yeah.
It'd be a perfect time to trade, and the values right now we're seeing, there's value in just about anything, as long as it's in some type of running shape. So
Right.
just keep that in mind when it's time to upgrade.
Absolutely. And we are Rent Right Equipment and Sales at 721 Buffalo Road here in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Yep.
And not only do we have everything you need for your outdoor power to get your lawns up and running this spring, from mowers to string trimmers to pruners and chainsaws, we also have whatever you need as far as rentals.
That's right. That's the name of the company, isn't it?
That is. We have a lot of things out today, extremely busy, especially with aerators and skid steers and even the straw blower,
Right.
which is a great thing if you're looking to sow some seed or on a brand new lawn or just trying to fix some patches in your yard now. It's a save your back and save you a lot of work.
I saw a delivery today that left with Harley rake, stand-on Bobcat machine, and 4-foot Harley rake. Talk to us about that combination.
So the mini skid, it's a Bobcat 850. Fantastic little machine. And with the Harley rake on the front, it is for smoothing out ground and pulling up rocks so that your soil is cleaner. You have a smoother ride if you've got ruts or things like that. It really helps. It's got a spinning wheel that's about 5 foot long. It's got spikes on it, and it's run hydraulically through the machine. That whichever way you pull a handle, it's going to spin, and you go backwards and pull all of the debris and things you want out of your soil, and pull them over to a pile so that you can sow grass, sow seed, and do anything you want to really smooth out and level your ground.
It's one of the best kept secrets that we have. That machine. It's extremely good for soil prep. It'll be baseball infield quality
Right.
when it's done.
Yeah.
Use that, and you would seed over the top of that, and then I would recommend a blowing straw over the top, which we can rent you a straw blower. Fantastic piece of equipment. Fair price on that. Retail price on that. Those two pieces, the Bobcat and probably the Harley Rake, you're probably around $40,000.
Yeah.
What's it rent for? What kind of rent per day?
So the mini skid is $225 a day, and the Harley Rake is $160.
Yeah. So if you want to be a hero on your yard prep, I'm telling you, this is it. And we've used it personally, and we've rented it a lot. So I wouldn't hesitate on that at all.
Absolutely. And not only do we want to help you get your lawn up in shape, we also want to help you with your flower beds. We've got bed edgers and all those kind of things. Bed edgers, we've got sod cutter, help you with all that. Aerators, trenchers, stump grinders. If you, we've gotten a lot of people that were putting out dog wire, for their electric fence for
That's
a
right.
dog, and we've got a little trencher that's made for that.
That's right.
Digs the perfect little trench. You lay your wire in there, and you're good to go. We've got stump grinders. We've got two different stump grinders. My favorite is the Barretto stump grinder.
That's right.
It's on tracks. It's fully hydraulic. If you've got any stump, it doesn't matter what size, this thing will take it down.
It's not burrito, it's Barretto. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
It's if you want a burrito, you can hit up the Mexican joint, your pick of the 5 or so in town. But if you want a Barretto, you come on down to Rent Right at 721 Buffalo Road.
It's a hydraulic head on it that moves back and forth on rubber tracks. One of the things, we do a lot of research on equipment before we throw it out there to rent. We try to buy the very best in a certain type of equipment that we can find. There's a lot of talking, a lot of research, a lot of testing that goes into different types of equipment. There's a lot of equipment on the market, but some, I call it non-rentable, that's hard to learn how to use. So one of the things that we really try to do is make it operator friendly when we choose different brands of equipment. For example, here in the last couple of years is John Deere. And we've started using John Deere skid loaders, just phenomenal power. The balance on those machines, and also the user friendliness for inside the cab. You want to speak to that?
They're fantastic. So I before this I was running heavy machinery. It's what I did 10, 12 hours a day, every day. So when it comes to having good equipment that runs and works, and you can tell when you get in it. You can tell once you sit down, you start moving some dirt or moving some gravel, you can tell the power as soon as you're running it. And as somebody that's run it a lot, they work, and they work really well.
They do. Hydraulics have gotten so much better over the years, and all the pieces of equipment we've mentioned, from Barretto to Hustler, here in the last few items that we've talked about, all use hydraulics. And the pump qualities have gotten so much better, especially over the last 10 years. And using these synthetic oils and smoothness of traction, of tracking with handles, and things are just so much sweeter. And the longevity of this equipment has really gotten better.
Absolutely. Especially anytime you maintenance. If you don't take time for maintenance, maintenance will make you take time.
It'll take time. It'll take your time.
It'll take your time, absolutely.
It sure will.
And so not only do we have tools for homeowners, but we also have them for contractors as well. And one cool tool I wanted to talk about tonight is our core drill.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know what it was, because I was from the dirt world, not
concrete world.
Not concrete world. It's a totally different world. And you can take a plug out of concrete.
That's right.
Up to 4 inches.
That's right.
You got from 2 inches all the way up to 4. And it's not your traditional concrete drill. It's circular. It's like a hole saw made for concrete, and it just goes all the way through, and it leaves you a nice, clean hole without a lot of vibration and a lot of hammering and all that kind of stuff. So if you're doing plumbing or electrical and you've
Right.
got some concrete that you need to cut through or some block, these are the perfect tools to do that and get the hole the proper size.
Yep.
Make it fit conduit and anything else you're running.
A couple of old ways that we would get through concrete is with a chip and hammer or a sledgehammer and a chisel, and we would just knock a hole through a concrete wall or a block. Okay, so it looks like it's been beat to death. The other one would be an electric chisel that would chip it out, or old school way is take a really small concrete bit and drill a series of holes around that
Right.
4-inch hole that you might need. Again, if you want to be a hero and look really good for your customer or inside your basement, the core drill is the way to go. We've got different sizes.
Yeah.
One of the things you need to think about if you're putting a 4-inch piece of conduit through a wall, you're going to need something that's a little bit larger than 4-inch. And I believe, Tyler, it's 4.5 inches holes what you're going to need on the outside diameter of a 4-inch conduit. I think I'm right on that. It might be 4.25.
So I believe the 4 inches is from the inside.
It is from the inside.
Yeah.
So the outside
So the outside's going to be
a little larger.
a little larger
Sure.
so that you can get that right size conduit and pipe through there.
Yeah, we can help you with those things. 3-inch, 2.5, I believe we have.
Absolutely.
In many different sizes. Also on that drill, that concrete drill, it's got a clutch in it. So it's not going to wrap you around the concrete wall a few times, and it'll clutch with you and save your wrist.
That's important.
It's important.
Yeah, they have a lot of torque and a lot of power. And not only do we have that, but we have a lot of other type of concrete equipment, from your breakers and your hammer drills and everything else you need. We have a 70-pound breaker, 35-pound breaker, and a 25-pound breaker. And then we have 2 different sizes of hammer drills, all the different bits that go with it, whatever size you're looking for. You don't have to go out and buy a bit and hope that it fits. We have all those things come with your rental. We can help you with anything that comes to the concrete.
That's right.
We have a whole episode on pouring concrete.
We do.
You can go a little bit back. You can find it on Facebook and YouTube and go back. We were in here with Levi Taylor from
right.
Taylor Constructors. We talked all things concrete. So you can go back and listen to that
Yep.
and learn all about it.
That's right. Diamond blades, we rent
Yeah.
those and also sell those. We keep those in stock. 14-inch on some of our saws. We keep 16-inch. On our floor saws, handheld saws, I believe it's 14-inch.
It's 14, and then the floor saw is an 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can go fairly deep,
Yeah.
sawing out floors, and then about 4.25, I believe, 4.75 if we're using the handheld saw.
Right.
On the depth, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Not only do we have everything you need for concrete, we've also got floor sanders.
Yeah, we hadn't talked about that.
No, we haven't. So we've got a bunch of different types of floor sanders. So the first one's going to be your drum sander. That's going to be the most aggressive. It's belt driven, right? So it goes around there. It's going to have different grits. We've got from 36 all the way up to 100 for that. And then we also have what we call the square floor sander, which is an oscillating sander that vibrates back and forth. You go with the grain of the wood and take it down. So if you're starting with new floors, you want to start with something. You don't want to necessarily start with like a 36 unless you're really trying to take down some grain.
Talk to me about the grit of paper. It's always been a mystery to me that you would have a lower number and it would be rougher paper. Can you explain how grits work?
It's like a shotgun.
Okay.
The lower the number goes, the bigger punch it's got.
Okay.
So if you've got a 20 gauge shotgun, it's going to be a smaller cartridge and it ain't going to kick as bad.
Well, okay. There
But if
you
you've
go,
got
man.
an 8 gauge, buddy, you better hold on.
That's right.
And so it works the same way with your paper. Is you can go all the way down to a 20, which is going to be gritty. It's almost like little gravels on the bottom of the paper. You move up to the 36, it's going to be a little less. You go to the 60, then you feel it's more sandy, but it's still coarse. But once you get to a 100 or a 120, it's very smooth. It's making your floor very, 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 very smooth.
Yeah.
Getting ready to put any kind of finish, whether it's polyurethane or sealers or anything like that. It's getting it ready for you to have nice, smooth floors.
One of the things I've learned too on sanding is you don't want to jump from a real coarse paper like a 20 down to a 100, and when you put your finish on, it's going to in the finish world, it's called feathering. You're going to see little feathers in it, so you need to step down.
Absolutely.
From 20, maybe to an 80, 36 or an 80, 100, and finish with a 120. So it's not that we're trying to sell you more paper. We want you to be an expert when you get done.
Absolutely. So if you're not really trying to take down a whole lot on a floor, we usually would say start with a 60, then move to your 80, then move to your 100 or 120, depending on how smooth you want it, because a lot of that is a lot of preference on what you want your floors to look like. And with being able to have the rental and you buy the paper, whatever you don't use, as long as you keep it clean, you can bring it back. We'll refund you for that.
Sure will.
And you can knock it out in a weekend.
You sure can. One of the things I see, Tyler, especially in Lawrenceburg and in our community, there's some beautiful homes, and the floors. People come to the point of, do I cover it with the latest and greatest vinyl and the inlay, or do I save those original floors? I say save the floors.
Yeah.
And some of this wood, they don't make it anymore. Some of this stuff we're seeing is 100 years old plus. And it's beautiful, beautiful hardwood flooring. And with a little bit of effort, a few hours of work and the right equipment, you're going to be able to save those floors for your grandkids to see.
Absolutely. And so we've got those two types, but we've also got an edger sander, so that gets up around the edges and gets those corners real nice so that you have consistency throughout the floor. But then also we have our floor polisher. And it, if you have some concrete that you want to kind of scuff up before you seal it, we have sanding screens that go underneath it so you can kind of scuff the concrete. We've dealt with that a bit, but we use it mainly for what it's named for, polishing our floors. If you come into Rent Right and you look at our checkerboard floor, you'll see it nice and shiny because of the floor polisher we use. And we've had some customers I've dealt with in the past that after they had got done sanding, they rented the floor polisher to put down the sealer and to put down the stain.
Yeah, you can do that.
So it gives it a nice slick finish
Yep.
and makes it really pretty and makes it a whole lot easier for you.
That's right. Great equipment, fair prices, Rent Right equipment, 721 Buffalo Road right here in Lawrenceburg.
Now to switch gears just a little bit, we've gone from concrete to floor sanding. Now let's go to moving some dirt.
All right, let's do it.
Literally moving it with dump trailers.
Okay. I saw one leaving today.
Yes.
I saw it headed toward Leoma.
Yep. So we've got dump trailers. They have 24-inch sides, 6 by 14, and they've got a 7,000-pound weight limit. Have to have a 3/4-ton truck to haul it. Because of the amount of weight, you can haul off dirt, brush, gravel, anything you need to move around, whether you're just working on the farm and pulling it with your tractor, or you're hauling things from job to job.
That's right. Short-term rental, day, weekend, week, something like that. Get out of spending a few $1,000s on a trailer. You can use it for short-term. That's the idea by renting it.
Absolutely. And if you're going to rent a dump trailer and you're moving dirt or gravel, you're going to want something to load with it. And that goes back to what we talked about before with our new John Deere skid steers. Not only do we have the 2 John Deeres, we've got 2 Bobcats. And as far as the mini skid, we talked a bit about that. It doesn't just have to have a Harley rake on it. You can put a bucket on it. You can put pallet forks on it. And we also have a Vermeer mini skid as well that works really well for those smaller jobs that you're not going to be moving 30 tons of dirt, but just a little bit.
Fantastic for cleaning out barns.
Yes.
Getting in, 36-inch, 42-inch doors, and diesel powered.
Right.
Yeah.
All of them are diesel, and then we also have our mini excavators, which are both out at the moment. People are using those, digging footers and leveling ground and doing all those sorts of things. So come on down to Rent Right and check us out.
How do I, online, our website, talk to us. We've updated just a little bit, some new features and pictures and online requests.
Yes, so if you go to our website at rentrightequipment.com, you can pull it up, and this, I believe, just went live today. Is that all of our rental equipment, you have a picture, you can click into it, you can see kind of what you're going to be working with, get an idea of what you're looking at and what you're looking to rent, because that's important to know what it looks like, kind of get that idea. And then you can request a quote online. So it will email us, and we will either email you back, or if you leave your phone number, we can call and talk with you directly to try and see what jobs you're working on and what's going to work best for you. Because if you ask for a certain piece of equipment, we're happy to rent it to you, but we also want to help you get your job done the best way you can. And so if you're not exactly familiar with all of this stuff, we've got the expertise to be able to guide you to the proper equipment to get your job done quickly and effectively. And that comes with having user-friendly equipment as well.
That's right. Good information center. We sure don't mind answering questions.
Yes.
About how to on particular projects. And one of the things that I see around Lawrence County and surrounding counties is just place quality is beginning to come up again, and people are really taking care and a lot of pride in taking care of their fence rows, their ditches, keeping their homes looking really sharp. One of the things that we rent a lot too is the lifts.
Yes.
And 55-foot lifts, 34-foot lifts for roofing and gutters and tree trimming. Can you mention some of those items?
Yeah, so we have the 55-foot, which went out today. And you can do all sorts of things, as Bill just mentioned, from trimming trees to cleaning gutters and putting in light bulbs.
Yeah. What kind
and
of
telephone poles?
Your customers today that rented? What kind of work are they going to be doing?
I mean, it's mainly either painting or tree trimming.
It's great.
That's the main thing that's done with it.
Yeah, sunshiny days, they're outside ready to work.
Yep. We've also got our scissor lifts.
Wow,
Had some guys that were painting a ceiling and putting up a ceiling in a garage. And, I mean, that's the perfect application for it. They're 19 feet tall. They roll around, drive them while you're up in the air, and you can paint, hang sheetrock, do all that kind of things from inside the basket. And it's also really cool is if you plug it in, you can get power directly up to the basket.
Wow. And trailers are available with those.
Yes, they come directly with
We
the
can
trailer.
come back to your half-ton truck and just make it really easy. And,
absolutely.
Extremely convenient for your rentals. What else is going on? People have been coming in and out. I've seen the parking lot full today of Rent Right. A lot of FedEx going on.
A lot of FedEx. The biggest thing that we've been doing is selling a lot of oil. A lot of oil and a lot of oil filters, people getting ready for spring.
For mowers.
Yes.
And servicing mowers.
Yeah.
Great. Blades, all parts for Hustler mowers in stock.
That's it.
Yeah. Warranty filed right there. And we just do a good job. RentRightEquipment.com. Y'all go to our new website. It's updated. And just click on it and look at it. And give us some feedback on it. We want to know what you think.
All right, so come on down to Rent Right at 721 Buffalo Road. We can help you out.
Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Jacobs going to the Packers and Christian Wilkins going to the Raiders. Kirk Cousins